As you have seen in some of these examples where you had to play the slash chord, it got quite demanding on your left hand. And indeed, it could have discouraged you. So I'm going to make things better for you. The last lesson in this course is going to be the slash chords, but I'm going to provide jam tracks, which give you the bass, so that you don't have to hold that bass note. And remember, I told you that if you're in a band, you're not going to play that bass note because it's going to get in the bass player's way. But you need to be thinking about it. So now that you've already thought about it, because you had to actually experience holding the bass note and visualize it and think about it that way, now you get freed up a little bit. All right, there are 6 bass notes that we're going to deal with here. I didn't write a B bass note. I just gave you C, D, E, F, G, and A. And here's what it sounds like. Real simple, real open. Now that's the C bass note, right? So let's say you're going to work back on lesson 2, and you've already practiced holding the bass line. Now you want to get freed up a little bit. You're going to go through and play right out of your diagrams all of the C and D minor inversions with all the tricks that I showed you of moving voices and things like that. So it would sound like this one. All right, you get the idea. I don't need to explain it any further because you know how to do this. So the next track would give us a D bass note. And you would just build on it that way, right? Our next bass line would be the E. So let's say you got the E in the bass and you want to play the G and A minor chords. Or you want to play maybe E minor and F. And so on, right? Okay, and then our next jam track would obviously be an F in the bass. Now each time you have this bass line, it gives you a mode, doesn't it? For example. I'm playing the F and the G triads on top. Now these are all the adjacent triads, right? But remember in lesson 7 we talked about the options of playing non-adjacent triads. Okay, here I have this F bass note, right? So I've got a Lydian thing going on. Let's say I decide to play G and C triads. Gives me a different sound, doesn't it? And this is a great way for you to explore all these different tonalities. Okay, if we have a G in the bass, you know we're in mixed Lydian. So now we're on the 5. You remember that great sound where we just used the D minor and the E minor triads? And you're going to enjoy this lesson probably the most of anyone in this course because it's not demanding on your left hand like the other lessons. Or let's say you have this G bass, and you want to play around with some different chords, maybe the C and the F. And maybe resolve to the G. So do you see how you can develop more things? I just played a lot of different triads out of the key of C right there. But I came back to the G because I wanted that to be home base. There's my A bass note. Okay? You're going to get all 6 of these jam tracks. And then you go back and just revisit what went on with those lessons, lessons 2 through 6. And actually lesson 7 applies also, because there we dealt with the non-adjacent triads. This is really the big picture, because remember, you're in the key of C, so we have 6 different bass notes here. I didn't put the B bass note. You know, you can do that on your own if you want to. It's a different sound. And I just want to give you something to show you what it's like when you're playing over these different bass notes.